We get a rain and snow to start the week, but how long will this last? Plus, the timing of a warm-up.
The second day of October, and there's already a half a foot of snow in Utah's mountains. How Utah is preparing for more storms to come, while Utahns and visitors are enjoying a little bit of winter.
We're learning more tonight about a plane crash near Moab that killed a North Dakota lawmaker, his wife, and 2 of their 3 children.
Changes could be coming to Utah classrooms.
You could actually create another classroom and hire another teacher.
A bill that would limit how many students can be in one class. But teachers say this idea comes at a cost.
And they're actually going to be coming into Main Street, so it's going to be congested.
New fast food businesses could be coming here to South Salt Lake. I'll tell you which one and how businesses are feeling about it.
Live from Utah's news leader, Fox 13 News at 9 starts right now.
It's the second day of October, and the last bit of summer we've enjoyed the past few weeks is all but gone. It was a rainy day along the Wasatch Front. In the mountains, some areas got more than half a foot of snow. Good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Evans.
And I'm Kelly Chapman. Fox 13 News reporter Jenna Bree shows us how Utahns and visitors went up into the mountains to celebrate this little bit of winter, while UDOT is now getting ready for more storms.
I didn't think I was going to see any snow this early.
Visitors from the other side of the country were treated to a rare sight of fall foliage and snow.
You go to the bottom of the mountains, you still get to see all the fall colors, and then up here is like all winter colors and stuff.
Some Utahns came up to Guardsman Pass to do their favorite winter activities on a few inches of snow.
This would be the earliest I ever skied.
We were up here sledding.
These new Utah residents,
there were no sleds at Walmart, so we got like a bathroom mat.
Were a little underprepared for the conditions.
Well, it's my first time seeing snow too, so I'm very happy.
Yeah, I like it. It's we came here kind of for like a different change of scenery, and we definitely got it with all the snow around.
The snow is beautiful and fun for many Utahns and visitors, but UDOT is already getting out the plows and preparing for another stormy winter.
And just a while ago, we were cleaning up avalanches at Little Cottonwood Canyon, and now we had a hot summer, and now we're back at it.
Supervisor Jake Brown says UDOT still plans to keep high mountain roads like Guardsman Pass and Mirror Lake Highway open until November 30th.
Every once in a while, you get a freak storm that comes through, but nothing to be panicked about. You know, really wet snow. You don't even have to use salt. You know, just push it off the road.
Brown suggests taking the time now to make sure your tires and wipers are good, so you're ready to endure another stormy winter. In Park City, Jenna Bree, Fox 13 News, Utah.
So just days ago, we had the air conditioner on at the house.
Yeah, sure.
And now we have the heater on. It just days.
Just like that.
And then maybe this weekend you won't need either. We'll have highs in the 70s, lows about 50, so might be able to get a break on your electricity bill. As we look at our temperatures here in Salt Lake over the next couple of hours, we will be hovering in the upper 40s through much of the night. In Salt Lake right now, it's 51 degrees, 54 Ogden, 46 for Provo. Let me show you where we're currently seeing a little bit of precipitation across northern Utah. A little bit of rain near Willard, west of Brigham City, south of I-84, and mainly west of I-15 right now. Bigger picture, not a whole lot happening this evening, although we will see the chance for a little bit of rain here or there. And then our system has mostly moved off to our east, but we could see some lingering precipitation moving in from the north into tomorrow morning. So overnight temps in Salt Lake, mostly cloudy, 46, Ogden 46, chance for some showers, Provo mostly cloudy, 41 degrees tonight. 10 o'clock, 45 to 50 here across much of the state. Into tomorrow morning, areas of rain and snow, especially up into Idaho and Wyoming. More on what to expect heading into tomorrow, and then when we're going to warm up coming up.
Tonight, we are learning more about the North Dakota lawmaker who died along with members of his family in a plane crash near Moab last night.
We're also getting a closer look at some of the tributes honoring him. Today, a photojournalist with the Associated Press took a picture of these roses laid on the desk of now late North Dakota State Senator Doug Larson. Federal investigators say Larson, his wife Amy, and 2 of their 3 children crashed at about 8:30 last night in their Piper Cherokee. It happened shortly after takeoff from Canyonlands Field, 21 miles northwest of Moab. None of them survived.
Emails from the North Dakota legislature obtained by the Associated Press indicate the Larsons were visiting family in Scottsdale, Arizona, and returning home. They had stopped to refuel in Utah. The cause of the crash remains under investigation. The NTSB says a preliminary report will be released within a couple of weeks. Larson had been in office since 2021 and is being remembered as a coach, entrepreneur, and lieutenant colonel in the North Dakota National Guard.
West Jordan police are asking for your help identifying this woman. She allegedly tried to kidnap a 4-year-old girl on Thursday, September 21st. Investigators say the woman tried to take the child from a Ross Dress for Less in Jordan Landing, or at Jordan Landing. She was unsuccessful and left the area after getting into the passenger side of a light-colored SUV. If you see this woman or the SUV, call West Jordan Police.
Well, drive along 2100 South and State Street in South Salt Lake and you'll see quite a number of fast food restaurants right near that intersection. The most recent is a Jack in the Box that opened earlier this year.
And soon there could be yet another fast food restaurant in that area. In-N-Out Burger has submitted an application to join the neighborhood too. It's far from a done deal, but it is in the works and people are talking.
Fox 13 News reporter Emily Tenser spoke with city officials, also nearby businesses.
Raising Cane's, Cafe Rio, Jack in the Box. All of these fast food restaurants have made a home here near 2100 South and State Street in less than 2 years.
Kind of come here to get some services and then leave the area.
This lot has sat empty at the corner of 2100 South and Main Street for over 15 years. And the Mad Greek restaurant next door just closed for good. Now an In-N-Out could take its place.
Oh, really? That's awesome. Okay. Then I think that was maybe...
We just want it to be more of an eclectic little neighborhood to keep things local and fun and up and coming.
The burger joint will be across the street from where Dacia Peterson Sullivan works at the Hive on Main.
Of course, traffic's always a concern and parking in our area, but I think any traffic is good.
After the long lines of Jack in the Boxes return to Salt Lake this summer, other businesses on Main Street worry how the traffic might affect them.
And they're actually going to be coming into Main Street, so it's going to be congested all the way back to Main Street, probably all the way north of 21st.
That's Chase Brocky, owner of the National Permanent Cosmetics Academy. He wants South Salt Lake to be known for more than a place to pick up food to go.
If you want something that's going to be a meaningful development that people want to have as a destination that people want to invest in, you're going to have, it's going to be harder than just like, oh, hey, let's get a Wendy's in here, you know?
The city's economic development director says all the new businesses are needed to create a solid sales tax base.
If and when we have a traffic problem and a parking problem, that'll be a good problem to have.
Jonathan Weidenhammer says the city has also worked closely with UDOT and the state to ensure the property can handle the double-double demand.
We're not insensitive to the criticism, but we also think it's an appropriate place for it.
On Thursday, the South Salt Lake Planning Commission will visit a petition and decide whether or not to recommend the zoning changes to the South Salt Lake City Council. Reporting in South Salt Lake, Emily Tenser, Fox 13 News, Utah.
In southern Utah, family and friends of 7-year-old Emery Burrows lined the streets of her St. George neighborhood yesterday with signs and cheers.
What a homecoming here. They welcomed her home after she spent a week in a Las Vegas hospital. Take a look at this. Reason to cheer here. It was last Sunday. Emery was hit by a truck while chasing a soccer ball. She did not see the truck, and the driver, which is a neighbor, did not see her either. She was taken to the hospital with a broken tibia and a traumatic brain injury. Emery's aunt, Kate Story, tells Fox 13 News they wanted the street to be a place of celebration for Emery's homecoming, so the accident isn't the only thing she and everyone else remembers. Story also says Emery is back to her sassy little self and will continue recovering at home. It's Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and the numbers here in Utah are staggering. How one group is trying to break the cycle.
Plus, a new water year has started, and it looks like we're doing better than in previous years. We'll break down the numbers for you.
I'm genuinely so excited to represent the United States of America at Miss Universe.
And history is made for the state of Utah. Miss Utah USA's new title and what she wants to accomplish during her reign.
Before flying to Hawaii for training camp, the Utah Jazz had their media day. We'll hear from the team as they start season 50.
There was a report of a person with a gun at Grantsville High School this afternoon. A little after 4, the school went into lockdown as multiple law enforcement agencies from Tooele County responded. About 100 students were still at the school, mainly the volleyball and football teams. They were quickly and safely evacuated. Officers went through the school and determined there was no threat.
One high-profile name will not be jumping into the U.S. Senate race from Utah. Congressman John Curtis's campaign confirms to Fox 13 News he will not run for the seat being vacated by Utah Senator Mitt Romney. Curtis had been hinting at a potential run lately, but his campaign says he has decided against a Senate run.
Roy police are reminding residents to make sure their cars are locked when leaving them unattended. They posted this video to Facebook earlier today. This happened at about 5:30 this morning near Emma Russell Park. You can see the would-be burglars checking vehicles and moving on once they see they are locked. Syracuse police are also warning residents to keep their car doors locked. They too posted videos of several recent car burglaries and attempted break-ins. Police say car burglary is a crime of opportunity. If a car is locked, the burglars will move on. Even if you lock your car, don't leave valuables in plain sight.
Keep all of your valuables out of your vehicle, especially if you're not locking it in the garage. If people can see inside of something that they want, they will smash your windows and get it.
If you recognize any of the people in these videos, call the Syracuse Police non-emergency line at 801-825-4400.
Ground was broken today on a facility to meet the mental health needs of Utah families. The Utah Mental Health Translational Research Building was made possible by the Utah legislature and the support of donors. The 185,000 square foot multi-floor facility will house the only 7 Tesla MRI machine in the Intermountain West that's dedicated to brain research. The best and brightest of the University of Utah and beyond will create research neighborhoods at the center to study human behavior and brain function.
Tackle these difficult, complex problems like why do 75% of mental disorders begin between the ages of 10 and 24? Why is suicide the second leading cause of death for young people in this country?
The new facility will be located behind the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and is scheduled for completion in 2026. Utah began a brand new water year today, and compared to the recent drought years, this year is off to a much better start.
Happy new water year. We're at about 139% of normal for our precipitation, and that's thanks to the big winter that we had. And then as far as reservoir levels, we're at 76% of normal, which is about 20% higher than our normal levels this time of year. So we're doing really good.
Talk about a perfect day to start a new water year with today's weather. That worked out.
Yep.
The Great Salt Lake's level is about 4 feet above last year's record low, but still about 6 feet lower than what is considered healthy. The experts say no matter what the winter brings, conservation is still key.
You should have seen my lawn today. Had a big smile on its face.
Did it? Yeah.
Yeah, big, happy smile.
Especially as we're hearing now that this is the time of year to shut everything down. And
Yeah, we're not watering anymore.
And winterize. You've got to blow out your sprinklers. Don't forget that
Oh,
part.
yes, thank you very much.
Yes.
You don't want frozen pipes.
No. And, we're going to actually head into this weekend, and we are going to be warming up a little bit. So we've got this the chilly, wet start to this week that we'll have the sunshine returning in a couple of days. I wanted to show you this picture from Brighton that just came in from Scott Taylor. My goodness, Scott and Chris, you guys are always checking out fantastic locations. Just what a scene today up in the mountains. I also loved this picture that came in from Janine, also in our Facebook group. If you're not in it, you can just search Utah's Weather Authority and you can join the conversation, see the great pictures and videos that people post every day. This is Mount Olympus. We've got the fall colors, a little bit of snow. We had the clouds out there today. We did have about 6+ inches of snow reported at Snowbird today. And here in the valleys, we mostly had around 1/2 inch of precipitation as far as the rainfall goes. 51 degrees right now as you're getting ready for bed. Wind is out of the southeast at 7 miles per hour. St. George right now, 62 degrees. Wind is out of the northeast at 12 miles per hour. And we've got 40s and 50s here across the state mostly right now. So compared to this time yesterday, it's quite a bit cooler out there. We saw a little bit of rain coming down mainly across far northern Utah. And really it's pretty isolated to scattered in nature. We're going to head into tomorrow morning, and we've got some better chances for more rain to return here across the state. But right now here across Utah, we've got some thinning clouds in central and southern Utah. Bigger picture, really not a whole lot happening at this point in the evening. We have had a few lightning strikes over the Great Salt Lake in the last half hour or so, but precipitation chances for Ogden will go back up starting at about midnight tonight, scattered to numerous through about 3 a.m. Then you're really going to see that going back up throughout the day tomorrow. So for Salt Lake, overnight, widely scattered showers will be possible between about midnight and 4 a.m. And then throughout the day tomorrow, we could see another peak right around or right after lunchtime for Salt Lake City. But Ogden certainly has a much better chance for precipitation overnight and into tomorrow. But it's going to be another chilly day with scattered showers here across northern Utah. We'll have temperatures first thing in the morning tomorrow, 30s and 40s here across the state. So you'll have a cool start when you wake up. Chances for rain, especially up into Idaho and Wyoming, areas of snow up into Wyoming. For the Wasatch Front tomorrow, mid to upper 40s when you wake up. Temperatures only into the mid 50s tomorrow, so it's going to be another cool day with scattered showers. For St. George, you'll also have a chilly start in the morning. Look at this, close to 50 degrees first thing in the morning. But then you're going to rise tomorrow, mid 70s by 4 p.m. Bulk of the storms off to our east. We do continue with some precipitation into northern Utah and clouds into the northern 2/3 of the state heading into Tuesday, 5 p.m. By Wednesday, we are definitely going to see much more clearing, and then our temperatures are going to heat right back up. So St. George, 74 tomorrow, 80 on Wednesday, close to 90 this weekend in St. George. And for Salt Lake, 50s tomorrow, 60s Wednesday, Thursday, 70s this weekend. We'll look at your 2-week temperature trend coming up in your Super 7-day forecast.
Allison, thank you so much. There is an effort to remove Congressman Kevin McCarthy from his leadership role as Speaker of the House. Details on what happened tonight.
From a massive win on Saturday to a mutiny on Monday, House Speaker Kevin McCarthy faces a real threat to his speakership tonight.
Just 48 hours after getting a deal done to fund the government before the deadline, some fellow Republicans are ready to throw him out of leadership.
As promised, Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz filed a resolution tonight to oust McCarthy. Scripps News national correspondent Nathaniel Reed has the latest.
After threatening to for months, Representative Matt Gaetz, the Republican of Florida, filing a motion to vacate the chair in the House of Representatives, effectively trying to remove Speaker McCarthy from the speakership, saying that he has the Republican votes to get rid of Speaker McCarthy.
I have enough Republicans where at this point next week, one of two things will happen. Kevin McCarthy won't be the Speaker of the House, or he'll be the Speaker of the House working at the pleasure of the Democrats.
In a short statement posted to X, Speaker Kevin McCarthy posting, "Bring it on." Republican dissatisfaction with Speaker McCarthy has grown in recent days after McCarthy relied on Democratic votes to pass a short-term bill to keep the government funded over the weekend. Ultimately, Representative Gates said that was his motivation for filing this motion to get rid of Speaker McCarthy.
You know, Kevin McCarthy's true coalition partner on all things of substance has been the Democrats this Congress. We have a lot of folks in Congress who I think would be very capable to serve as Speaker. We need to rebuild trust. And so I think we need someone who can connect the most conservative features of our conference to the most moderate features of our conference.
And though a number of House Democrats have weighed in, it's not clear how the Democratic caucus in the House would vote, whether they would save McCarthy's speakership or allow him to be removed as Speaker of the House. Democratic caucus leaders say they want to plan an all-caucus meeting to determine their unified position. At this point, it's not clear when that will happen or when the vote to remove McCarthy could happen. Since 7 p.m. on Monday, which is when Representative Matt Gaetz filed that motion to vacate, the House leadership has 48 hours to schedule that vote. It could come at some point early this week.
This is something that they have to figure out and something that they created. They're in chaos. We see this.
It's not up to Democrats to save Republicans, from themselves especially.
Nathaniel Reed, Scripps News, Capitol Hill.
If we can give them a good foundation, I think it's well worth the money invested.
A state lawmaker is proposing a cap on classroom sizes in Utah.
Breaking the cycle, how a local group is focusing on potential perpetrators. I'm Amy Nay, and I'll bring you a closer look at the unique program that's trying to fight against domestic violence.
Well, the Utes had another player suffer a season-ending injury. The Cougars feeling good about themselves after their first Big 12 win.
So when I had class sizes of 18 to 20, I could really get to know the kids.
It's hard anymore to find a class of 20 or fewer students in Utah. The most recent data from the National Center for Education Statistics is from the 2018 school year. It shows Utah's classes are among the largest in the country. Typical elementary school classes average 24 students, just barely better than Oregon. High school classes have about 28 on average. Only California and Nevada had more.
But change could be on the way. A bill is coming in the Utah legislature to put limits on class sizes. Fox 13 News political reporter Ben Winslow has more.
Speaking to Fox 13 News at the Utah State Legislature's interim session in St. George, Senator Kathleen Reeby announced plans to propose legislation putting a cap on how many students can be in a classroom.
K1, we would like to limit class sizes to 25. When we're talking about the advent of being kindergarten as mandatory, it's fantastic, but I was just working in a kindergarten that was 34.
She calls kindergarten and first grade a good starting point to put limits on classroom sizes. But it might be tricky to implement in terms of classroom space and the number of teachers Utah has.
There are many valves that we can use. So, I mean, if you're struggling for space, you could actually put 2 teachers in the classroom and they could co-teach, which would be much better than having 1 teacher with 35. You could hire aides to help with the kids that you couldn't put into another classroom so that the number to student teacher ratio was reduced. If you had space, you could actually create another classroom and hire another teacher.
The concept has support from the Utah Education Association, the state's largest teachers union. Renee Pinkney is a 29-year social studies teacher who's seen class sizes go up and down.
So when I had class sizes of 18 to 20, I could really get to know the kids. And if there were problems with absenteeism or just I understood that they were struggling with a particular skill, I could reach out to them and help them much better than I could when I had a class of 32.
But the devil's in the details, and the UEA says the state needs to do better at hiring and keeping teachers.
And that is a big question, right? Are we going to be able to attract and retain educators? Because when you lower class size, you need more educators, you need more teachers in classrooms. And that is something that we are definitely working on, is strengthening the teaching profession and elevating the teaching profession.
That could get expensive.
It could be expensive, but you know, when we're spending that much money to educate our kids, if we can give them a good foundation, I think it's well worth the money invested.
The bill is expected to be introduced in the 2024 legislative session that starts in January. Ben Winslow, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Governor Cox declared today Domestic Violence Awareness Day in Utah. Why are days like today and the whole month of October needed? Well, the governor says it's because most Utahns may not realize that 33.6% of women and 21.4% of men in this state are victims. And it's not always the headline-grabbing murder or murder-suicide.
What is talked about less are the other forms of domestic violence: control, jealousy, child abuse, financial manipulation, elder abuse, verbal abuse, emotional torment, and psychological trauma.
Those who spoke at the Capitol today want victims of domestic violence to know there is help available. They want victims to report abuse, get that help, and then let the law punish the perpetrators.
Local programs are helping to break the cycle of abuse. Fox 13 News anchor Amy Nay has a closer look at something called Kava Talks.
That's what it is. It's just another way for people to get help. So there is help out there.
Sam Latouey works as a counselor in St. George and uses that knowledge and experience to help others who meet in weekly online meetings called Kava Talks.
Men, especially in our Polynesian community, we talk about violence within the community.
He says trying to break that cycle that for some has gone on for generations.
A lot of the people that are perpetrators are victims themselves. And so helping people to heal and educate and move past what they've learned, or what they are accustomed to.
The way we grew up a different way, and we've got to change that, because some of those ways, the way we cope with things, it's not helpful to our mental health and to the people that we love.
Siolo Toala is also one of the men behind Kava Talks, speaking here about toxic masculinity.
Our culture is very steeped in masculinity. We're very much warrior-like, and I think a lot of, especially our young people, we get caught in that ego-driven kind of masculinity. We try and promote a more balanced masculinity in Kava Talks.
Siolo works with the nonprofit Pacific Islanders Knowledge to Action, or PICTAR, and also their youth mentorship group, Day One.
We all make mistakes, but that don't mean you can't make a change. It started as a way to for Polynesian men, hence Kava Talks, and it's an acronym for knowledge above violence always. And it just kind of, but now it's morphed into just a men's group for any man who wants to take advantage of the message.
Kava Talks is a great platform to teach, educate, and to help heal.
October 28th, in conjunction with Domestic Violence Awareness Month, their annual Heal to Heal walk takes place.
You walk in heels, you walk in the women's shoes. It's the idea that you walk in his shoes to understand, kind of the pain and process and all they're going through in their healing process, and just to be there.
Working toward the goal of eliminating violence and finding other ways to deal with frustrations.
That's what Kava Talk is a better way of life.
Amy Nay, Fox 13 News, Utah.
YWCA Utah has unveiled facility improvements, which they say will help those fleeing domestic violence. A ribbon cutting today unveiled the new gate system and security measures at their Salt Lake City facility. YWCA Utah says this will allow them to better protect domestic violence survivors while allowing those in need to find resources.
Many domestic violence shelters, their addresses are not listed. You cannot find them online. Ours is unique, and you definitely can find it online because we have community resources that are available as well, and we want community members to find it. It's so important that the people that come feel safe within our structure, and the gates are a big part of that.
If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, free support is available 24/7. Call 1-800-897-5465. You can also find resources from the Utah Domestic Violence Coalition on their website, udvc.org.
New campaign finance reports show Utah House Speaker Brad Wilson has raised more than $3 million in the race for U.S. Senate. Last week, Wilson formally jumped into the race for the seat being vacated by Senator Mitt Romney. Federal Election Commission filings show Wilson with a huge lead so far over his opponents. Many donations came from fellow members of the Utah legislature. Speaker Wilson is resigning next month to campaign full-time.
The city of St. George is planning a public hearing on a proposed $29 million bond. It's to pay for improvements to parks and trails in the community. Residents would not see any change to their property taxes since it's technically a renewal of an existing bond. The average home valued at more than $500,000 would pay $32 a year. The public hearing will be held October 19th at City Hall.
The odds of winning the Powerball lottery jackpot are 1 in 290 million. So you're saying there's a chance. The drawing happened about 35 minutes ago.
All right. Bob, do I feel warm to you at all?
Let me see. Oh, dear.
Powerball fever. It's running high for many Americans tonight. The Powerball jackpot is now at $1 billion.
No one was lucky enough to match all 6 Powerball numbers over the weekend, and you better bet that some Utahns drove to the Idaho or Wyoming state lines today to get a shot at the big bucks.
I'm mad I didn't. Missed out on the chance, perhaps.
Oh, well.
Scripps News national correspondent Vanessa Michania breaks down everything Powerball.
Only $1 billion bucks.
If there is a winner tonight, it would be the 4th largest jackpot in history and the 2nd largest this year. And if you think that jackpots have gotten bigger recently, you're correct. And there are reasons why.
Who is feeling lucky? Monday night's Powerball drawing could make someone a billionaire.
It's nice to win a big one if you can, but it would probably change your life.
If someone wins the $1.08 billion prize, it will be the 4th largest jackpot in the history of the game. Last year, someone in California won the largest ever, a $2.04 billion jackpot. With even bigger prizes, lottery ticket sales are on the rise. Last year, Americans spent $108 billion on tickets.
$1 billion is one of those numbers that seem to get people excited. And so, when the jackpots get this high, we see a lot of kind of excitement.
So why have prizes gotten so big? NerdWallet broke down the 3 biggest reasons. 1, in 2015, Powerball and Mega Millions both increased the amount of white number balls they draw in their lotteries and then lowered the number of red balls. While that change increases your chance of winning a smaller prize, it decreases your chance of winning the big one. 2, interest rates. If you win and choose the annuity options, you get 30 payments spread out over 29 years. And the annuity factors in the amount of interest you'd earn. So the higher interest rates go, the bigger the advertised jackpot becomes. 3, the bigger that jackpot gets, the more people want to play and buy even more tickets, making it even harder to win.
I guess your chances of winning is like getting hit with lightning, and I haven't been hit with lightning yet, so maybe my chance in the lottery is better.
The odds of winning are 1 in 292 million, but that is still better than if you do not play at all. Vanessa Michania, Scripps News.
She has been representing the state of Utah, and now she represents the entire country. Winner right there. You're going to meet the new Miss USA, Neola Voigt.
Coming up in sports, former Utah State Aggie had a big game for the Seahawks tonight against the Giants, and the Jazz touched down in Hawaii before they left Utah. They had Media Day. We'll hear from the Jazz players before the start of training camp in Oahu.
What a moment. What
This
a
is
moment.
so exciting. Oh my gosh, she's beautiful, graceful, so well-spoken. And she's our new Miss Utah USA and now Miss USA 2023. Noelia Voigt won the title in Reno on Friday night. It marked the first time Miss Utah USA has won the crown since 1960.
Fox 13 News reporter Darian DeBrule shows us the coronation and how Noelia hopes to use her Venezuelan heritage in what she does next.
Miss USA 2023 is Utah!
Earlier this year, Noelia Voigt moved across the country to the Beehive State to chase her pageant dreams.
Pageantry, I think at one point in time, used to be about only physical beauty, and times have changed, and it's not about that anymore. We're trying to show people that beauty can transcend the physical.
On Friday night, in the lights, cameras, and sparkles of the Miss USA competition, her risk paid off.
I feel like as the day has gone on today, it's like sunk in a little bit and a little bit and a little bit more, because I'm talking about it so much now that I realize I'm not dreaming.
At just 23 years old, Voigt has already spent years advocating for key issues like anti-bullying and dating violence awareness and prevention.
I've also advocated for immigration rights and reform because I'm a Venezuelan American woman. My mom immigrated here, and so did so much of her family. So that's something that I really want to continue to educate the public on.
She also made history in July, becoming the first Venezuelan American to win Miss Utah USA.
Surprisingly enough, there is a pretty large Venezuelan population there, and I think it has a lot to do with the fact that Governor Spencer Cox is quite pro-immigration, in the sense that he's trying to create equal opportunity for the people coming into this country.
Words can express how our community feels right now in Utah. You know, we've been through so many hard things in the past, that having this blessing to have her represented us.
For Voigt, winning Miss USA is about more than the crown and sash. It's about finding ways to build connections with people of all backgrounds.
I'm genuinely so excited to represent the United States of America at Miss Universe to the best of my ability, and just represent the diverse culture and population that we have in this country.
In Salt Lake City, Darian DeBrule, Fox 13 News, Utah.
That's right. Don't stop there, Noelia. She's going to go to Miss Universe next.
Well, you know, here's the wonderful thing. I don't know if you viewers know this, but I am sitting next to the Miss Utah USA 2002.
A lifetime ago. Truly.
It seemed like
Noelia
yesterday.
was just a newborn baby at the time. My goodness. Congratulations.
Oh, yeah.
That's so exciting for her as she advances on in her career and what she wants to do. This is a giant stepping stone for her, Allison.
Absolutely. Well, for a lot of us, I think today's snow is a giant stepping stone closer to winter. We have what I call finter. It's fall winter up in the mountains where you've got the fall colors. You also have some fresh snowfall. Janice, thank you for sharing this picture in our Facebook group, Utah's Weather Authority. Here are your main weather headlines on this Monday evening. It was a cool and wet start to the week today. Snow levels are about 8,000 feet. We do have some more scattered showers possible overnight and into tomorrow, mainly across northern Utah. Right now, where we're seeing a little bit of rain is mainly north of Layton, up through about Brigham City. What we're going to be tracking for you overnight will continue to be the chance for a few showers, but better chances getting into midday tomorrow for northern Utah. So hour by hour forecast into tomorrow morning, we're mainly going to keep the clouds for the most part north of I-70. 7 a.m. chances for a few showers up towards the Idaho border, rain and then snow up into Wyoming. We'll see some scattered showers throughout the day tomorrow. We'll have temperatures Tuesday 5 p.m. only mid-50s. So we've got another cool day tomorrow. And then our storm's going to be moving off to our east. We will see a little bit of a northwesterly flow, chance for some showers tomorrow. And then high pressure is going to be building as we head into this weekend. And what that means for you is if you prefer sunshine and 70s, then this weekend's going to be great for you. Chance of precipitation for tomorrow in Ogden is likely. Tuesday night, widely scattered, isolated into Wednesday. For the Provo area, much less of a chance heading into tomorrow and tomorrow night. Widely scattered for Tuesday night for Provo, and for St. George, you're going to have a dry 7-day forecast. So very low chances for much of the state over the next couple of days. Tomorrow in St. George, mid-70s, 80 on Wednesday, back upper 80s Friday, Saturday, Sunday in southern Utah. So the heat does return. For Salt Lake City, 56 for tomorrow, scattered showers, partly cloudy on Wednesday into the 60s. 70s return on Friday. And then I do want to show you after our 7-day forecast, which is going to be very comfortable this weekend, we get into the middle part of October. So this is for days 8 to 14, our 2-week forecast. The 10th of October through the 16th, above average temperatures here out west. So we will likely be continuing with a warm pattern. And in that same time frame, we look at our precipitation outlook, and we're split with normal precipitation. So not much of an inclination here on what's going to be happening in that longer term forecast, beyond the fact that we are likely going to see above average temperatures getting into the middle part of October.
Well, the NBA is back with media days. All 30 teams hopeful they can win a championship. Jazz are ready for season 50, their 50th season in the NBA. Fox 13's Andrea Urban has more with the Jazz.
This morning, the Utah Jazz hosted its annual media day just hours before a plane ride to Hawaii for training camp. Good news is the rookies are all healthy, while players like Jordan Clarkson and Colin Sexton and the reigning most improved player, Lauri Markkanen, are looking forward to getting to work.
You know, of course, for myself, I set really high goals. So, of course, want to be Rookie of the Year, just to, point out an individual goal. But as far as, for the season, just, getting better each and every day.
A week or two after Summer League, I was like fully healthy. So pretty much since then, it's been full go for me.
It's been about a month and a half now where I've been playing with the guys. It's been a lot of fun, just making that adjustment and, starting to feel good.
I think we're going to come in here, compete, win, and try to make some noise. I remember last year we kind of were just like, didn't really know what was going on or what was going to happen. Everything kind of was new. So I think this year we got a good mix of guys. We'll come in here and compete and try to win games.
I'm very excited, looking forward to competing in training camp. Whenever I step between those lines, I know I'm going to compete, whether it's a shooting drill, a sprint drill, whatever it is, I'm going to compete.
I still haven't made the playoffs, so that's really one thing that I'm looking forward to, getting on that stage, and that's the goal.
The preseason begins for the Jazz on October 8th, while the season opener will be at home on October 25th against the Sacramento Kings. With the Jazz, Andrea Urban, Fox 13 Sports.
Yeah, the Jazz team and staff made it safely to Hawaii. Head coach Will Hardy said this will be a very competitive training camp, especially at the guard spots. They'll practice at BYU Hawaii campus on the north shore of Oahu from Tuesday through Saturday, with their first preseason game on Sunday against the Clippers. And all proceeds from that game will be donated to the Maui Strong Fund to benefit wildfire relief. Injuries continue to be the big story for the Utes. Defensive end Logan Fano announced on social media that he's torn his ACL when he made this sack against Oregon State. He said, "I can't wait to get right and play in front of the best fans in the world once again." The Utes are on a much-needed bye week. Hopefully, some other injured players will be ready for the next game against Cal. Like Utah, BYU is also 4-1 heading into their bye week. The Cougars coming off a win over Cincinnati, their first ever Big 12 win. They're learning they have to bring it every week in a Power 5 conference, so they feel like they're up for the challenge.
Sitting in a really good spot right now going to the bye week, but after evaluating it, I'm really proud of the boys, proud of the team, proud of the coaches. But you got to be ready for a battle every week, and we knew our guys would be committed to it. It's just nice to evaluate and watch the film and see that these guys are committed to doing that every week. And if we can get that done, I feel really good about our chances and going to the last 7 games of the season.
It's hard to win in college football, in our first year in the Big 12, starting the season 4-1. I think that's something that we can be proud of, even though there's, a whole list of things we know we need to get better at.
Former Utah State Aggie Bobby Wagner had a big game for the Seahawks against the Giants. Gets his first of 2 sacks here in the third quarter. He led the Seattle Seahawks with 17 tackles. 9 of those were solo tackles in the Seahawks' 24-3 win. He's back with Seattle after playing a little bit with the Rams, and boy, still playing really good football.
And then there was Puka yesterday too.
Yeah, he doing well.
That was something else.
Lots of good
Scored
games
his first
yesterday.
ever touchdown.
That's right.
As he's breaking all these NFL rookie records.
It is so fun to watch.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. We'll be right back. They're good, but Girl Scout cookies may be going up in price as high as $6 a box. It's due to inflation. But in Utah, the council tells us, quote, consumers will be able to purchase their favorite flavors for the same prices they experienced last year when the season launches on January 20th. $5 for core cookies, $6 for the specialty cookies.
A deal at twice the price.
I agree.
I dare say.
You could buy double as many.
There you go.
Quick Cast is next.